Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Susan Nicholas. Susan is author, speaker, podcast, host, Awakening Humanity to Consciousness. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Susan Nicholas. Susan, welcome.
Thank you, Siddique. Pleasure to be here.
Likewise, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
In 2012, I had a conscious awakening, which inspired me to do what I do today, which is my conscious work. But I trained as a physician and surgeon, and then I went to business school and became a healthcare entrepreneur, and then became an equity investor, healthcare equity investor. Found myself unfulfilled in those pursuits, and began to do my conscious work after a twist in the universe in 2016.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's an amazing story. What are the top 3 mistakes to avoid?
You know what? I really think this is going to be a little bit of a twist on perhaps other speakers, but I really think the mistakes to avoid in any type of life career choice is not believing in yourself, giving up, or quitting, if you will, and not going after your purpose because of perceived obstacles.
What are your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
Well, greatest failure story, I don't really perceive anything as a failure. I perceive it as a learning experience. But for me, it was the pursuit of more. I was pursuing titles, degrees, money, to feel fulfilled inside. And I recognized that after all of that education, mounting student loans, jobs, all of it didn't bring me happiness or fulfillment. And so for me, it was really about learning about the inner journey, the inward journey of self-validation, instead of looking for the outside world, for validation through degrees, through money, through titles, etc.
And how did you recover from that then?
For me, recovery really came from my awakening process, where I began to question all of it, all of my life existence, the whole of existence of humanity. I couldn't believe that we were here only to work to pay bills, and that it had to be hard to do it, that it had to be a continuous struggle. And why was it like that? Why were most of us struggling? And why were we unfulfilled in the struggle? And it really, the journey allowed me to recognize that the journey starts within. And then when we pursue careers or we pursue, I guess, money, if you will, or pursue a livelihood from a place of happiness, a place of joy, a place of worthiness, then it all comes forth and there's an ease in life. And it's not about struggling all the time.
Wonderful. What are your top 3 success secrets that others can model from?
Success secrets, really, it comes from a place of inner calm and inner knowing. It's just trusting, believing in myself. I mean, I'm telling you, there's so much power in belief in yourself, like believing in yourself enough to move forward when it feels tough, recognizing that you're never given more than you can handle, and that whatever you're being shown by the universe is to teach you something. Life is happening it's not happening to us, it's happening for us.
Very deep, meaningful.
Yes.
I understand that you are the author of multiple books. This is your chance to talk about your books. So tell us more.
Yes, I write books on human consciousness for adults and children. My first book is The Duality of Being, Perspectives from Multidimensional Travel. And then I have 2 illustrated children's books that are part of a series called The Death of Cupcake, which is my recent release, about children that have experienced loss. And all my books are written from a child's perspective, all my children's books. And I also have a book called 2 Parts of Me, I Am More Than My Body, allowing children to recognize that they have intuition, a soul about them, and that if they can trust it, if they can learn to trust that, it can guide them through life.
Can I see them?
Yes, I I'd have to go pick them up, but yes.
Go for it. Go for it. Pick it up.
Go
Please.
pick them. Hold on. Sorry, I wasn't ready for that question. So
okay.
the Death of Cupcake, that is my most recent title. It was published in 2020 during the pandemic for children that have experienced loss. Two parts of me, I'm more than my body, is really about harnessing the power of your intuition, recognizing that they are connected to the source of all creation. Just reminding children that they're still connected. And the duality of being is about all of it, about, you know, conscious awakening, about all the lessons about life, about relationships, about love, about work, about death, all of it. Perspectives from a higher perspective, different awareness to allow you to go through life with a sense of calm.
Wonderful, wonderful. We are about to wrap up the regular interview. However, we are moving into a lightning round. That means quick question and quick answer. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
What are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for this time with you, Siddique, today, and all that will hear this interview. I'm also grateful for everything that I have. Thank you.
How young are you?
I am 49 years young.
So, Susan, you are not 49. You are 18 years old with 31 years experience.
Perfect.
What you want to do when you grow up?
I'm creating something called the Human Consciousness Center, which is a center for energy healing, healing on the level of the soul, but also a place, a coming together of the highest conscious thought on the planet so we can solve the world's issues from a higher perspective.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
I remember who I am. I remember that I am creator, that I am capable, that I'm giving nothing more than I can handle. I believe there's one question that we all must ask ourselves, and that is, do we believe that we are a part of a benevolent universe? And if we believe so, then everything is for us, not to us, done to us.
How do you start your day?
I start my day with introspection. I wake up in the morning, and then I go into a place of meditation, of introspection on how I want my day to unfold.
What is the advice you give to younger yourself?
I would tell my younger self to just trust herself, trust in the higher power of the universe.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
I don't believe it's about convincing. I believe it's about showing, about standing in your own power and light. I think when you begin to take your inward journey toward higher awareness, people will take notice and begin to ask you what it is that you've changed, or what has changed about you, and what work you're doing.
What is the impactful book you have read, and what did you learn from it?
So I speak a lot on money consciousness, and one book that I recommend to everyone is Love Money, Money Loves You by Sarah McCrum. I had the pleasure of hearing her speak at a conference in 2019, and it's fantastic. It's about the other side of money, the soulful side of money.
Why being impactful is important to you?
Because there's a lot of struggle and pain in the world, and I don't believe that we're born onto this planet in these magnificent bodies and all their complexity just to work and pay bills. That it's not about the struggle, it's about the inner journey of self-awareness.
Who is your mentor and what's the impact?
I guess I have several mentors, but it really comes from, I guess, the higher self. I guess the higher self, the inner knowing.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to be remembered for?
Raising the vibration of the planet, elevating the vibration of humanity.
Mm-hmm. Who is your ideal client?
My ideal client are I'd say business and medical professionals who have reached the height of their worldly success, but somehow still feel unfulfilled, that they're unactualized, that there's something else that they must do. And those are my ideal coaching clients.
How can we support you?
I would love to share this message with all. I said this message resonates with all who already are ready to hear it, and to find me at www.susannicholas.org.
Yeah, wonderful. We are about to wrap up. I'd like to ask you a few words about your today's guest experience on the show. And here is my question. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
Excellent. I'm very excited to see what comes next.
What would you say as a final word?
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful to you and your time.
Thank you so much, Suzanne, for sharing your wisdom with us today. On the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team, we really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.